Welcome to the Android Police Podcast. I'm Cody Toombs.
I'm Corbin Davenport.
I'm Jules Wong.
And I'm Ryan Hager.
And this is going to be one of those weeks where, you know what? We're going to talk about nothing. There's nothing. Literally nothing happened. Oh, wait. What am I thinking? Pixel 4 stuff. Like lots of it. Tons and tons of Pixel 4 stuff.
There is just a flood of Pixel 4 leaks, just like last year.
What's a Pixel 4?
This time they didn't fall off the truck. They just all ended up in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, where they say
what's the difference?
Production has moved to.
Yeah.
Vietnam is the new Ukraine.
I don't know. The food's better.
Oh, good. Excellent point. True. Yeah. Trues could be. Well, Ryan, I know you were pretty deep on the first thing, so just go into it.
Wait, what did I do?
Am I wrong? Did you not write that?
No,
the first one.
It's Ryan. We have two different people.
Okay.
I've been here for like 2.5 years now, man.
I remember you talking about it. I didn't realize he had jumped on.
I just helped look into some of the details. So yeah, there was some video leaks, video reviews of the Pixel 4 leaked from a couple of Vietnamese YouTubers. Originally, we thought, you guys might remember, when Google relocated some of its manufacturing capabilities to Vietnam. And so we were like, is there a bit of a security problem at the Vietnamese factory that's producing the Pixel 4s? Turns out no. So one of the YouTubers, or one of the people who did something about one of these recent Pixel 4 leaks, illuminated where he got the phone from. I guess they got it from China. So the Pixel 4 is being produced in China, not Vietnam. And the fact that the Vietnamese YouTubers and a Vietnamese blog were able to get a hold of it has nothing to do with the fact that Google moved manufacturing to Vietnam, even though we kind of suspected that, and I think a lot of people suspected that. It's still, this is coming out of China. But there's a lot of the specifications we already knew about were confirmed. We know it's going to have the 90 hertz display. I believe that was confirmed. Yeah, Snapdragon 855, so not the Plus Pro, whatever, the new gaming version.
Was it the 6 gigs that was confirmed there too?
Yeah, 6 gigs. I mean, I think most of this is just additional confirmation, but there have been a couple features. We have seen what the face unlock looks like, right? Am I wrong?
The GIF animation that goes along with the scanning process. Which Rita describes as cute, but I describe as
yes, he said it wrong.
Are you watching it? Don't you dare.
You're a monster.
Yeah.
But moving on, we have the GIF.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jules, you're fired. We don't accept your kind here.
Well,
but so we've seen a couple of the new features. I don't. One of the guys. Again, this was all in a follow-up I saw on Reddit. Talked about how this is all these were running pre-production software, so they don't know what a lot of the features look like. And that's right. The face unlock doesn't actually work, but I guess
there
was working.
Yeah, there in the first video that we embedded, I watched most of it. The front camera was completely busted in software. So there was a lot of stuff that wasn't quite working.
But I mean, basically, I don't think there's a whole lot that's hiding. There are a few features that, as anybody who's read today's Android 10 feature bump date will know, there are a few features that are coming up that aren't present in the current Android 10 build that we are looking forward to, and which probably are implemented in these versions. Stuff like we might see a return of a setting that disappeared called adaptive notifications. We're still looking forward to live captions. And there's a couple of other features like potentially fast share. What else? And more of the face authentication details are coming up among the Pixel theme app that we know is hidden in the Android 10 final image, but isn't active. You have to use an ADB command to enable it, and then it works. So there's more stuff coming that is hidden in probably the pre-production images that are already running on these phones, as well as in what's in your Pixel right now, but just not turned on.
There goes that train. I feel like we've all been missing We've all been missing the market on dick pics being randomly airdropped. So I'm glad that one of those features is coming to
It's coming.
Android sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks
That's
for
my
that.
that's
Is
that's
that a
my
real
brother's
problem? Does
favorite.
that happen to people running with iPhones? Because I know they've got
Yes.
AirDrop.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a huge
My-
problem in like
my-
newer
Oh my
subways.
God.
It was going
Yeah.
like
You
crazy.
need to get out more, man.
Bring your iPhone so you can get random
You
images
need
shared to
to
you.
get to the hotels of
Well, there
far
was-
reaches.
My life is sadly devoid of dick pics. I know.
What wasn't there?
I'm just saying more originality. If you're gonna share pics that are inappropriate, more than just one thing, just
Dress
saying.
him up. Put a wig.
wasn't there?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Wasn't there a news story from a couple of weeks ago where like a plane got evacuated because someone airdropped a threatening message or something like that? Am I making that up?
Yeah, I think that was one of the cases. Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
something. I didn't remember it being a threatening message. I thought it was like a weird picture or something.
Yeah, I think it was like a meme about bombs or something. But yeah, so
And I know a lot of people in comments are convinced that all of these leaks are intentional. I still follow that. Don't ascribe to malice anything that can be explained through stupidity. I think that Google just like doesn't have its supply chain in order still. If they wanted to do this intentionally, doing it through a bunch of Vietnamese YouTubers is probably not your best bet for making sure that you're presenting the right image that you want. So
Yeah,
I think this is accidental.
You could argue that no one ever has their supply chains down tight. I mean, you can tighten all of the screws that you want, but when you're dealing with mass production on the basis of thousands of workers, something has to break along that line.
Well, even Apple's phones now aren't a secret anymore. I mean, they're a
little more secret than this, for sure.
Yeah. There's not
look,
already iPhone 11 in the hands of a YouTuber.
Yeah,
so
they're a little more on the ball.
There were like 3,000 shells with the chassis like 3 years ago. Like that water, that dam has broken a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
remember when Samsung did I think it was the S4, and they hyped how like super secure everything was, that every single person had a badge, and that they created something like 3 or 4 different versions of it just so they could narrow down if it leaked, like who the leaker was. And it's like, really, guys? I mean,
is that why?
Good for you, but
is that why people were hoping for the Pixel Ultra? They were like, no, this one's the fake one that Google made.
Oh, there were definitely
I'm
conspiracy
surprised there
theories.
haven't been any Pixel Ultra rumors yet. Like, I'm
Yeah,
still
where's
looking
my
forward to
Pixel
them.
Ultra 2?
I mean, it's not too late to start.
Instead of Google Assistant, it has
I mean, have you caught up with the guy that originally made it? He's like talking about. I'm sorry. Have you caught up with the original guy that made the stupid little fakey Ultra Pixel thing? Because he's still learning. He's still going to school for software UI, I think.
he's getting ready for the next one. He wants to make it even more convincing. But yeah, also in the videos we saw all the different colors of the Pixel 4, including the really fun coral color.
Don't call it coral.
So that's fun. What
you
do
mean
I call
the
it?
pink gold?
Creamsicle.
Coral.
I will die. I will die on my creamsicle
sherbet?
hill.
Is
I
it
swear to
Are you
God.
talking about salmon? Are you talking about salmon? The color
It's
of
creamsicle.
one pair of swim shorts that I owned.
Google's gonna call it barely blue.
Can we just call it ugly orange?
I want it so bad. It looks so good. Oh.
Can we just?
Can I get a Coral Google Home Mini with my Coral Pixel 4, please?
Oh,
Can
that's
Arathcon not make a
that's pretty
stupid
good.
pun about the color?
No, that's good. That's a good one. That's a
Oh
good
no,
one.
it's a tried and true pun. I accept this one.
I haven't
very
seen that
upset.
one yet, and I like it.
I'm
For
sorry.
anyone listening at home, he said, "Orange, you glad there's no notch?"
Jules, get off. You're fired again.
I tried so hard to bring back my camera feed, man. It was like, oh man, okay. Well,
your computer knew you were fired.
Did you know that there is a way to support me after I'm gone? I need the income. I really need some help. If you enjoy the show and you want to support all of us here, we would really love it if you would consider
Patreon, guys.
that Patreon, but also at twitch.tv/androidpolice. This is a very classy shilling that we're doing here. Amazon Prime customers, you can connect your Twitch account to your Amazon account to get one free sub each month. So that means giving us the monies without giving your money away. Always a good sign. When you subscribe to us, you get to use a special emoji of a certain someone in this chat right now. Can't imagine who could it be. Maybe it's Cody. Maybe it's Corbin. Maybe it's
one of these days we will have one of me.
that emoji of Ryan. Oh, there we go. On cue in the chat. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And you get extra extra entry methods in our site's giveaways. And you know what? More chances in more giveaways. Like, who would give away that opportunity? Am I right? So you can find the details for linking accounts below the stream on our channel page, or if you're listening to the audio version, it's in the episode description. And keep in mind, Prime subscriptions have to be manually renewed or renewed manually each month. Either way, if you're not sure if you're still subscribed, you can double check at twitch.tv/Android Police. The button will say subscribe. If you're not subscribed, click it. You're done. All right. Let's talk about something else. Perhaps like an antitrust.
But first, we got to thank Crunchy Goodness, who's again like one of the only people in comments that I actually know for both. Oh no, he just gifted us up. Yeah, he gifted us up.
Well, that's still a great thing.
There's
Crunchy
2 lines.
Why
are there 2 lines for one thing?
Someone is spending their money to give someone else a sub. That's very nice.
I mean, that's crazy. And it just shows that our community is just great. We got Badger back in here with Beast Slidem and Jan Solo 242. Just a whole bunch of great people, including Ryan Hager, who also subscribed via Twitch Prime. That's great.
There's some great people and Ryan.
And Ryan. Great people and Ryan. That's true.
People are gifting the gift of Ryan's face.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Also, actually, just for the hell of it, just to answer Ryan's confusion, the reason they do multiple lines like this is the first one will tell you how many subs went out, and each line after that will be who they went to.
I see.
Yes.
So it's only really confusing in the case of one.
Exactly.
That means you guys have to gift multiple subs from now on. Sorry, I don't make the rules.
If I could high five Corbin for that, I probably wouldn't.
Okay,
the theory is there.
1, 2.
No, sorry, I'm totally going to leave you hanging. Sorry.
What the heck?
It's okay.
Anyway,
I just made the sound. That's fine.
Speaking
Jules is pulling his weight.
Speaking of having no trust.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But Jules, take it away, because I actually have not read this yet.
That punch should go into the Cody Tombs.
You have to stretch harder for that one.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. So apparently, 50 attorneys general in the United States, 48 states plus DC, and we're looking into another antitrust investigation. Then that may end up doing certain thing. People that have used Google's advertising businesses. No specifics just yet. So we're going to have to wait on that. Google itself, for its part, said that it has created thousands of jobs, one of the top spenders on research and development in the U.S. And yeah, that's basically just kind of we're in the Texas poker. What are the stages again? The river, the freaking draw or something. I don't know. We're in the early stage of the.
I'm totally drawing a blank on the others. Anyway,
the short version is nobody knows what they're talking about yet. They're still trying to figure it out. Yeah,
they're just very
including
upset.
us, including me. I'm sorry.
And thank you, Snoop_RG, for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 4 months.
Wow.
So with all that said, first off, it's just worth pointing out, this isn't something like all 50 states. Well, I mean, minus technically 1 or 2, but this isn't a case where they all actually have a legitimate case against Google. It's one of those situations where a few of them found a reason to go after Google, and everyone else is like, yeah, just sign us up too. We want a part of this. We want to make sure we get our fair share of the money when everything goes down.
Yeah, I don't mean to be a Google apologist, but this is definitely a fishing expedition. They're like, we're pretty sure you're probably doing something wrong when it comes to ads, and we're going to look into it. So that's basically what's going on. Is they've announced that they're starting an investigation, but at this point, all they have are like, well, we're pretty sure this is a monopoly, and you're kind of dictating terms on both sides to the publishers that are posting your ads and to the companies that are, buying space for ads on the publisher's sites. You're the only gateway for the majority of internet advertisements, and you're dictating terms to both sides. It's probably not a good thing, but they're going to have to look into it. They're going to find out. They're going to see. And this is, I think, it's probably just going to be the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see a bigger investigation land, I bet, within the next couple of months when it comes to things like, as you guys know, and as I think a lot of the internet knows, people tend to target things like the Google Discover and Google News traffic pretty heavily, and that is ripe for antitrust investigations because we're beholden and at the whim of algorithms and systems that we know nothing about. And it just, what gets the views and what doesn't get the views according to Google, no one knows. So that's definitely going to be a target of investigation as well.
Well,
I think it's probably bundled into the same thing.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing you've heard from a million YouTubers where they complain that I don't know why this video doesn't do well, but this video does, and you're chasing a train that you don't quite know where is leading.
Especially when we're getting to the point where more than 50% of some sites' business effectively comes from a source they have no knowledge about, and that's not really fair.
Yeah.
And every time a competitor is cropped up, it's really been crushed, either out of a loss or just, Google acquiring them. So it's just, this is the state we're in. It's taken many years to build this up, but irreparable.
It's the tip of the iceberg. This is the start of a series of investigations we're going to see, in my opinion, that are going to encompass a bunch of different aspects of Google's business. Advertising is their biggest business, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see a lot more attention placed in probably cloud computing and a bunch of different things as well.
Yeah, and in all fairness, and I think Jules might have mentioned this at the beginning, right now they're investigating Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook. I know there's a couple of other companies that are going to get hit. To be fair, this is... And I apologize for kind of bringing politics into this, but right now this is something almost everybody agrees on.
Yeah,
that there needs to be more oversight and investigation into the big tech firms.
How big is too big to fail?
Yeah, really. And really, Google is such an easy target right now because,
What are you, the EU, Cody?
Far from it. I would pick on them all day long. No, anyway, Google is a really easy target because they are involved in so many things, and my phone totally woke up to that one.
Oh, it heard you. It heard you talking smack.
It did. It recorded me. Oh my god! How terrible! It caught me speaking on a podcast.
I'm going to file antitrust lawsuits. Expect that in the coming days.
But yeah, when you've got companies this large that are making this much money, it's hard not to want to look at them, both because it looks like they're fishy and because they're really valuable targets.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the biggest issue is just the fact that we don't know, as consumers or people using the advertising business or people who are reading articles or people who are writing articles, from however you approach these various systems and products, you just don't know how they work. So it's not a matter of, are they anti-competitive? Do they have a majority? Is it okay that they have a majority? The issue is we don't know what's going on behind the scenes at all. And this investigation hopefully will serve to answer at least some of those questions. How does this stuff work?
Well, and at a bare minimum, maybe it'll also prompt the companies to just be more careful. Like, do slightly less awful things, and you may get overlooked.
Well, and a thing that we haven't necessarily overlooked, but it's been interesting to watch the progression of how Huawei has been developing its path towards Android 10. It's still on thin ice, relatively speaking, when it comes to imports. We've been talking about whether or not its devices will get updated to Android Q. The company has promised that on at least what, a dozen and a half
Well,
devices or so.
the existing
Um,
devices should be able to be, but we don't know. None of the import ban exemptions have been approved yet, and we don't know if any new devices will ever be able to get it.
Well, let's talk about one of those new devices here, debuting at IFA. It's the Huawei P30 Pro with a fresh couple of coats of paint. It's kind of mimicking the Pixel, but instead of that glass bit at the top, you got more metallic thing going on, paired with the
Yeah.
matte
For the
material. Looks
people that are for the people that are just listening, they don't want to click the link. It kind of looks like the original Pixel, where it's got like the
two-tone.
soft touch. Yeah, it's got the soft touch part on the bottom and then like a glass piece on the top.
But this is all in one glass sheet with just sort of an etch on the bottom half. Bottom thirds.
Yeah. So
and also
it's
turquoise and purple colors, which you'll never
That
see on a
purple's hot.
Pixel, really.
I do dig that purple.
Yeah.
Actually, I dig the turquoise too. They're both really nice, though.
Yeah.
I wonder if they actually look like that in real life, or if they just kind of like saturated for the video.
Well, I mean, we have pictures, but
it's a hand.
It looks a lot like
manual.
The turquoise looks really different in the picture.
The
now
purple looks like the Samsung Galaxy S9 purple, kind of.
I'm still pretty down with the purple though.
And the
Now-
OnePlus is OnePlus 6T is purple.
That's a little darker, and it's that's a gradient shade. So like it
It's a little
goes from.
moodier.
Hold on,
So
got-
now
I
that
I got furniture for this.
Welcome
my
to the
gosh.
visual podcast.
yeah,
Well, in the
this is show and
meantime,
tell.
yes, it's going to launch with these revisions are going to launch with Android 10 natively. So that's
Which is kind of a
getting along.
workaround. It's saying, oh, it's not a new phone. It's kind of a new phone, but it's not a new phone, so we can still upgrade it with Android 10. It's fine because the existing license works.
Yeah,
but
and now that Huawei has sort of become the trendsetter of smartphone design, I wonder, should we start counting down the clock until Samsung makes a ripoff of this design, or
That was the wrong phone.
Sony?
it's just going to continue with its awful whatever the heck when it, because here's the thing, I don't think that 6-color horrendous gradient aluminum foil
Here we go.
thing on the Note
There's
10.
Ooh,
Purple S. No,
that's a
See, but
very
the bottom is like close.
pretty
Yeah.
different. They're pretty different.
yeah. The OnePlus is like an
Uh,
understated purple.
Yeah, and gradient to a black at the top, whereas this is like solid purple.
Yeah, the Samsung looks closer to what's in their picture.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I think I always consider lilac to be kind of like that, a one note piece.
I know what you mean.
As opposed to like pearl, like real, blue and red purple. But then again, this ain't the joys of Peyton with Bob Ross. I don't think we could pull that off here. So
What?
yeah, the joy of art, the joy of painting. Talking about the nuances of color.
Okay, Jules.
You
All right,
lost
so-
me.
We're confused. It's official. Okay, so I don't know. Was there actually much
Get
to
OnePlus.
say on? Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I didn't really have much more to say on this, but good luck to Huawei.
Oh my god, my cat! Shut up, cat.
I had a whole
All right, so Corbin's
going to
do some editing tonight.
No, I'm not.
No.
I don't care. This is all staying in.
Okay.
I will let Jules ramble stay in. It's fine.
All right. Well,
Well-
on that note, OnePlus.
OnePlus.
Yes.
So OnePlus is promising. People may remember that OnePlus phones have this thing where sometimes you don't know why you'll have like an application that's running in the background with like a notification or something that you need to do a specific task, like to stay connected to a Bluetooth device or to play back something or to monitor a sensor or whatever. And they have a habit of just kind of killing it out of thin air. You don't know why. So OnePlus has committed finally to ending that behavior. We don't really know what caused it. It was some optimization for Oxygen OS, probably in the name of battery life, that told it to just randomly start killing things in the background. And that's going away. And there was kind of a workaround. There's a way to exempt it from both the built-in doze options, the battery optimization setting, and there's I think a separate setting as well, or it might be controlled by the same setting for OnePlus's own optimizations. Regardless, that sometimes reset itself. That was a problem I ran into pretty frequently. Every, I think, major update, every time there was an OTA, and OnePlus is pretty good about delivering updates. And unfortunately, that means every time there was an OTA, my list would get cleared and all of my apps would start being killed randomly again. And it was very, very annoying. Sometimes it actually happened on a few builds with every reboot, which drove me insane. And that won't be a problem anymore. Thank God.
Ryan can finally rest.
Yes. It's like the only problem with Oxygen OS is that it was like, oh, background app, goodbye.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Pixels, but...
You could say that the irony in this is that Oxygen OS never gave its apps the oxygen they needed to run.
You tried.
You know what? Jules, man, you left the best one on the floor. Oxygen OS suffocated its own apps.
That's also good.
And there's also going to be a couple of other things. So they're going to promote custom ROMs for end-of-life devices. So like the OnePlus 3, OnePlus 3T aren't going to get any major updates anymore. I don't even know if they're going to get like maintenance updates. They might. But if they don't, they're going to start telling people, if you want to stay update, you want to stay secure, move to a third-party ROM. Like I assume they're going to promote the bigger ones that are easier to stay updated, things like Lineage OS or OmniROM. But it remains to be seen precisely what they're going to update. And they're also going to do a bug bounty program where they're going to pay people for security vulnerabilities, presumably separate from whatever Google does with Android as a whole. They'll be doing for just Oxygen OS. And the rest of the changes were just to make things generally easier for developers. But they did a series of announcements in response to their Open Ears forum, I guess all the way back in May. And they're finally divulging the sort of changes that they're going to implement as a result of that meeting.
Is this like a meeting of the Freemasons where we don't know about anything that happens until like years and years afterwards, and then I don't know.
And it's worth noting that the change to background tasks isn't really to make users' lives easier. It's for developers. It's to appease the developers that have been for years getting complaints. Oh, your app stops in the background. Oh, I'm going to give you 1 star because it doesn't work. And the developers just toss their hands in the air like it's not us. It's not our fault.
There's a whole site that's dedicated to how bad. What is it called? Don'tKillMyApp.com.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. I was just trying to look it up.
And they're the second worst OEM, other than I think the only one who's worse than them is Nokia.
Nokia.
Yeah.
And Nokia just announced a couple of weeks ago that they're quitting their aggressive background killing as well.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. So. Samsung and Huawei. Samsung, especially after the Android P. What? I didn't know this.
Yeah, they keep that site updated.
Breaking news.
Battery optimization is turned on by default. Sleeping apps. All right, something about the Android, the One UI Android P update, like people are salty about. I gotta look into this later.
What's your favorite salty pie? I just had some great turkey pot pie earlier today. Delicious.
Okay, so there was this place in Brooklyn that had a really, really good curry pie.
Oh boy, that sounds good.
It was good.
We were talking curry earlier.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
There's like a Thai curry pie.
Cody, yeah, you guys seem to be more in the Thai thing with the kind of lemongrass and
Thai is amazing.
It is. It's great.
Any curry that isn't Japanese curry is good.
I love pretty much all curries, so you best be getting out here with your Japanese hatred.
It's gross.
Shut your face. All right. Well, in the meantime, we shall be moving on to things that are out of OnePlus realm. and into Google Play, because apparently you're about to get a ticket to a lot of apps.
Thank you, Jewel.
So
There was nothing clever about it. It's just like I'm trying
no,
to make
I like that one.
English.
I wasn't being mean. I like that one.
Ugh, God.
So, for anyone that doesn't know, Google already kind of gave away the story on this one a while back. It's they're going to come out with a subscription called Google Play Pass, where you're going to pay some amount per month. I don't think they gave away the amount, did they?
It was $5 per month when they were testing it, but I don't know if
Okay.
that's what it'll be, if that's when it gets released.
Seeing as Apple just launched their own thing at exactly that price, I bet anything Google's going to stick to it, because
Yeah,
you don't want to be the one that costs more.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they basically like just teased it and said Google Play Pass is coming soon. Still no specific time. Still not really anything in the way of details. They're just basically saying, yeah, it's going to happen.
They're really just
stay
saying,
tuned.
we know that Apple's going to talk about this at the event today, and
Yep.
we really want to make sure you remember we're doing it too, guys. Don't
Yep.
forget.
We were first.
Yeah.
And Apple comes back with like a MacBook event afterwards, anyways, and then they'll just stick in
Was
the
that
next
today?
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Did
you
we hear
could
anything?
never do this
I
on
didn't
the
see
Mac
it.
store.
What happened at the MacBook?
No, nothing
It is.
has. He's talking about what's coming next month. Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
thought
Yeah.
you told me it was today. You said it was in like 2 days.
You got
No,
Ryan
it's
excited.
October is going to be
Whatever.
Ryan was about to rush to the Apple store to buy a computer with a non-functional keyboard.
I know.
You know what's funny? I thought we were actually going to get through this podcast without talking about the Apple event, but I mean, we may just end up there.
So how about
Accidentally.
that extra special ultra wideband airdrop thing? More direct dick pics. Am I right?
We're gonna
Okay,
get
leaving that
highly directional.
I can't wait to get the emails like, I tried to listen to this podcast with my kids in the car, and all you talked about was
Well, now that you said it, we're totally getting emails.
yeah, we are.
I thought we were rated E for all this time, man.
Yeah. We're rated E for
Not when
everyone.
I'm here.
We're ready for E for buddy. No, anyway, sorry, I don't know why I had to. No, anyway,
Okay, Hank Hill.
yeah. All right. So anyway, I don't know. There's really not a lot in the way of like new details here, but what is kind of standing out to me is we still haven't really heard anyone talking about what apps are included. By now, you got to figure developers who know that they're going to be a part of this program have to have. They have to know.
We know
And
some
there's-
of them. We know some of them.
Well, yeah, because they've shown us the app icons, but no
Yeah.
one's talking about it.
I
and-
assume that they're under like all sorts of restrictions not to talk about it.
Oh, sure. But let's be honest here. You can't keep that many people quiet.
Well, if
So,
we want to talk about the analogy here with Apple Arcade, most of that stuff is just lightweight gaming. It's not, your
Yeah.
it's your Candy Crushes and that kind
Well-
of stuff. So
I'm betting that Google approached developers specifically, and these developers all have it in mind quite clearly that, money is involved. I need to stay
Yeah.
quiet.
like $5 a month money.
well, one notable thing is Google is including apps in this list. It's not just games. Whereas, as far as I'm aware, Apple Arcade is strictly games.
That's true.
Which,
Yeah. And also the distinction with Apple Arcade is that there will be at least some exclusive games, and we haven't heard one way or another if that will be the case with Play Pass.
right. And I talked about this for a good while on the Q&A show earlier this week, but I'm really coming to this point of wondering, like, what is going to be the quality of apps and games we're going to see on Google Play Pass, because I'm just not seeing the incentive for any like higher priced apps to want to be part of this. It's
There are
I've
some.
seen a few. Yeah, there's KOTOR, there's Stardew
Stardew
Valley,
Valley.
and a
again
lot of
we're
older games.
again, games, to me, games aren't really as much a part of that discussion. I think games have a lot of reason to want to be a part of this because they'll just pick up usage as people want to try a bunch of them.
Especially older games that aren't getting sales anymore.
I'm really doubtful about apps. And I think a lot of app developers are going to be looking at this, really not seeing the value proposition. And I think a lot of users are going to be in kind of the same place, because if you've got an app you could pay, let's say $5 for, you're just not going to want to pay $5 every month to keep using the same apps. You'll just buy the app and move along.
I love how twisted our perception of costs is when it comes to apps. Like, we don't bat an eye when it comes to buying a $25 game, but spending $2 on an app is terrifying.
Ooh,
couldn't
especially
agree
when
more.
when it's a one-time purchase.
And I'll go spend $5
what do you mean
on
I can't? Yeah,
coffee like, what do you mean down the street, but a $1 expense in app is
it feels so one-dimensional, though. I think I feel like I'm going to steal my friend Juan Carlos Bagnell's little thing here, but that touch square get item kind of mentality has just been pervasive for the past decade or so, at the very least. Arguably, Windows had a little bit something else going on, but I feel like we're going towards the end, or the heat death of that kind of value or proposition. There has to be something else out there in terms of software that really extends the experience of being a mobile oriented or something. Maybe that was just English that was not really worth speaking.
No, I get you. I actually agree. I just it's hard to follow that. But no, it's true. The value to purpose is really lost. And it's kind of funny that at one time, being a software engineer used to be like a really, really good, high-paying thing to be into. And this has really actually devalued a lot of that field in really odd ways.
Especially if you're independent, or you make apps, or you target anything that's a little more niche, and you aren't in a big company.
Yep.
It's a tough time.
Yeah. And wow, is that ever the entryway for a completely separate podcast that is deserves a much larger discussion. But that's not us.
You could
not
call
tonight.
that podcast "Google secretly hates all of its developers."
Ooh,
not wrong.
Yeah, I like the fire on that one. And speaking of fire,
that's not
we've
bad.
entered into our dark place.
No, that was terrible.
Kind of.
Oh, Jules, thank you. That was perfect.
That's much better.
Cheers.
Yeah. That's a better
Jules
one.
wins that one. So if you're opening up the Play Store or Gmail anytime between a few days ago and the future, you know what? You could be seeing a dark screen, because their dark themes are rolling out. These are, as far as I'm aware, both server-side controlled, so you may not have gotten them right away, but they'll be hitting you sometime soon.
Mm-hmm. Google does these tests, teasing them, sometimes for months. So just because we see this on a couple devices now, doesn't mean you might get it tomorrow. You might not get this for like a year, because Google does that. This is how Google does things.
Yeah, that's how the recent material redesign to the Play Store, it started testing like a whole year ago, and then it went away, and then it came back, and it went away, and it came back, and we got 20 emails every time it went away and came back.
I picked Kieran's brain. So one of our tipsters, Kieran Quinn.
Yeah.
He's a total expert on like the server-side flags. I think they're called flags inside of the app. You would know better than I do, Cody.
Yeah.
And they test a bunch of different things. A/B test this combination of flags and that combination of flags. Google does like pseudo-random tests out to everyone. And I guess when it comes to the Play Store, there's like 100 or 150 different flags controlling the appearance of stuff at any given time.
Well, there are quite a few apps that get near that, but the Play Store, it's very obvious and very egregious. Some of the ones that they have, and
exactly, like what the great thing about those other apps are, it's that we don't have to worry about that. Kind of have to worry about the flags and like the on and off. They just do it. Oh, lights out, it's coming soon, says Twitter. Yeah, we're gonna expect that soon, and until then, we don't really have to think about it that much.
I don't know. It depends. Like Spotify does so much A/B testing. Like I've got features in my account that our readers don't even have. They don't just test appearance; they test account features. It's weird,
Yeah.
man.
So,
Yeah.
guys, you're completely leaving out the worst offender on both accounts, both features and appearance. YouTube.
Oh my god.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I've
Is
been
YouTube even part of Google anymore?
ish. I was screaming about YouTube like 4 years ago because on 3 different phones I had 3 different sets of features, none of which had anything to do with the actual like hardware. So it was just plain like their account features or customizations that anybody could have, but they're different on 3 different phones. Nah, that's bad.
I still
I
have different
remember-
playback UIs right now on my different devices where some of them have a little X in the corner when a video ends, and some of them you have to back out, and it's maddening even now.
I remember last year there was like a month where I think I wrote about 5 different Play Store UIs being in testing. That was exciting. That wasn't at all confusing for me to keep track.
Now you know my life for the last several years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Google loves their A/B testing, y'all.
Yeah, but
well,
And on that note,
I was okay.
yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're kind of not switching things up on people because I think we've been a really reliable source of Android news all this time. And if you want to keep this thing going, if you want to keep the show going,
I gotta mute myself.
twitch.tv/Android Police. Get that Prime subscription on. If you have Amazon Prime, just click the subscribe button. That's all you need to do.
I would argue that we're less a source of news at this stage and more just entertainment.
Yeah.
A little bit.
We're the monkeys
hopefully it's
in your
insightful
cage.
entertainment.
Joel says we're a reliable news source when after I've used the hero.
I didn't say
Ryan,
reliable.
Like,
I
doing
said
googly
liable.
eyes on a pixel like 5 times.
Wait, which one?
The one where you're like making a funny face at the pixel.
Oh, the Mitch McConnell surprised face at the phone.
Yeah. I love that. I love using that one.
Wait, that was supposed to be a mimicking of Mitch McConnell.
No, my roommate told me that it looked like Mitch McConnell. I can't unsee it.
Oh, does it? Let me see.
It's a little Mitch McConnell. It's a little Mitch
You
McConnell.
need a little more turtle
little
chin
Mitch?
going on, but hey.
It's a little. I mean,
It is
it's
a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it.
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Let's
eyes
not go
do
too
a
far.
lot.
Okay.
Yes.
And speaking of a surprise face, who didn't make a surprise face when the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 was announced? And now it's going to be available starting. That was like a week ago. I was expecting that to be like yesterday or something.
Yeah. This happened
Corbin
like
just
I think it
really
was
Corbin put together the document is what happened today, and Corbin really loves garbage Android tablets, so that's why we're talking about this.
say
No,
that.
it's top of the line Android tablet, the concept of which is garbage. Get
It's
those
a
things
diamond
straight,
crusted turd, is what you're telling me.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
sure, but again, that's disregarding the fact that the concept of a high-end Android tablet is still garbage.
Okay, look, someone must like these because they keep making them. So now for the people that like them, you can now buy one for way too much money. So the Tab S6 is now $649, and that doesn't include the keyboard cover because of course not. That is $90 if you pre-order it. If not, I think the final price is $150, I think, which is also insane. Samsung just yeah. Actually, this isn't really a Samsung thing. I think the iPad Apple just announced the keyboard for that is also $150.
Yeah, but
which
the
is
base
insane
iPad
for
is
like,
way less. Isn't
Yeah,
it
but
like
people will own iPads.
yeah, the iPad is like $350. So,
And I've been using an iPad recently, and it's actually not that bad.
no,
It's actually pretty nice.
So yeah, you can grab yourself a 128 gig Tab S6 for $650, or you can bump up to the 256 gig one for $730.
And if you do it on a payment plan, you only get to regret it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, poor. Also, Samsung also released the Galaxy A50 unlocked phone, which is kind of their upper mid-range device. And it's a lot more popular outside the United States, but they brought this one to the US.
And to be fair, it's an older phone.
Yeah, it's not quite as it's
just,
been out in other regions for a while.
And it's been out in the US, but not unlocked, I believe, right?
Right. Yeah. I think carriers started selling it a month or two ago.
Yeah.
But now you can get it unlocked for $350, which isn't too bad. And also, if you get it from Samsung's site, you can do the whole trade-in thing that may or may not work in your favor based on previous horror stories we've got. And also, the Galaxy Watch Active 2 is now available for purchase, which is the one I'm most interested in. Hopefully, I'll get to review it. But I mean, the prices were already announced, so this isn't surprising. The 40 millimeter one is $280, and the 44 millimeter is $300, which is a pretty big increase from the original Active, which was just under $200.
Well, that's
and
what
you liked
get
it quite
for
a lot.
having fat wrists.
Yeah, I've got it right now. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure if the touch bezel is worth an $80 upcharge, but hopefully
it's an attractive looking unit.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice watch, and I'm surprised how well, considering it's got like the 3D glass. I'm surprised I haven't just scratched mine to hell, but it's still fine. So I'm sure this will be a good watch. Again, I really want to try the touch bezel thing, but yeah.
And
so
thank you, Mountain Drew 42, for your
Thank
Twitch
you.
Prime sub.
I feel like there's a missing zero after that, but okay.
Yeah, please change your Twitch name.
There's a limit to the number of characters on a Twitch name.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the reason. I'm just saying. Could be a
Well,
reason.
speaking of things you can buy, the Google Nest Hub Max is now available. What, you don't like my segues?
It was fine.
Okay,
It's accepted.
I'll take fine. Yeah,
we'll edit something better in later.
No, I won't. I'm in charge of editing. That'd be the best thing ever if I just spent like hours like thinking of a perfect transition to edit in. Oh, that'd be terrible. I'm not doing that.
No.
So
You'd be up all night doing that.
I would be. I'm not Jules, unfortunately. I don't have a knack for it. But yeah, so the big Nest Hub, the Nest Hub Max, is now available with all of the face matched features and everything else it has.
Did our review of that go up yet?
Yep. Yeah. We're getting to that next. Don't
Ryan
cut ahead.
did it.
I'm sorry.
Don't cut ahead.
I ruined it.
Yeah, so it comes in white and dark gray, just like the smaller ones, and it costs $229 in the US, £219 in the UK, and $350 in Australia. So if you go to the show notes, we have all the links. You can buy it. Lots of fun. And if you're thinking of buying it, Ryan reviewed it. He could not be on the podcast tonight, sadly, to give us his firsthand impressions, but you can still go read the review. It's in the show notes. If you're listening to the audio version, you can just find it on our site too. It's pretty easy to find. But basically, he liked it. It's just a big Google Nest Hub, and the Nest Hub was already pretty good. The Nest Cam functionality left a little bit to be desired. Like
he was ranting about that for a while.
Yeah, like he was mentioning how it's kind of hard to get the camera in a position where it's good for using the Nest Hub, but also as a security camera, which makes sense. You'd kind of have to have it at like a weird angle, unless you just need like security of your fridge or something.
Yeah, of course. You need to catch your kids stealing that cheesecake from the other fridge at night.
Your kids keep taking cookies. Mm-hmm. Oh, now you can get them.
Well, if the light's off, you can't see it because it doesn't have night vision.
Oh,
great security camera.
Yeah.
Yikes. I just leave on the freaking stove lights or the oven light.
Yeah. It comes with a little night light you put in the area.
Hey, it's smart home, man. You gotta get lit.
Actually, oh my god.
And on that note, that is the Android Police Podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh my god.
And if you've enjoyed this absurdity, please consider subscribing. It will keep us going, which may or may not be a good thing.
Yeah.
That is a question for the ages to decide. And if you do subscribe, it will also earn you some contest entries for or sorry, I shouldn't call them contests, for the giveaways on the Android Police site. Of course, as usual, you would also get the Rhine emoji and our eternal gratitude. Well, actually, our gratitude that lasts about a month until you need to resubscribe, and then
Yeah.
you know,
Short-lived
do it
gratitude.
again. Hey,
It's
Gratitude
similar
with an
to the
expiration
Pixel 2
date.
XL notch that happened once and will never happen again.
we still have to figure out what we're gonna do someday when the notch stops being funny.
No, it will never stop being not being funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyway, thank
Bollocks.
you all for coming to listen to us and not making too much fun of us as we do this. Have a good night, everyone, and
My cheesecake brings all the boys to the yard? What?